Hello, everybody. I have not made a Destiny video in a while, mainly because I haven't been playing it since like Season of the Lost came out. I played it for the first few weeks, and then I kind of just stopped playing it. I'm playing a bunch of other games, but I came back for the 30th anniversary, and so far it's been a lot of fun. This is gonna be my first impressions of it, and we've experienced probably most of the content in the game by now. Me, and my friend, for the 30th anniversary. Interestingly enough, it's actually not as much content as a season, yet it's priced like way more than a season. It's really odd. Don't really know why they price it at $25. I mean, yeah, it is like a decent amount of content, but it just kind of makes no fucking sense considering the seasons are what, like $10, $15, something like that, maybe even 20. I kind of forget. I usually buy the deluxe edition, to get all the seasons because I know I'm pretty much gonna play them. But it's just kind of weird to get it priced more. I don't know. I don't really understand it. Maybe someone can let me know why they did that. I guess because they can. I guess they did it just probably because they can. Anyway, so let's go ahead and start off with what is pretty much the premier thing here, right? Besides the loot, of course. And that is the Dares of Eternity 6-player activity. Really cool. I really, really like this activity. It's like a game show. It's probably the coolest 6-player activity we've had since like the Menagerie. I really love this activity. It's really, really fun. People are saying it's Menagerie-like. It is kind of Menagerie-like, but instead of it being completely random on the encounters you get, you instead get a visual representation of randomness with spinning the wheel of misfortune to actually get what race you come up against. So it is kind of Menagerie-like, which is definitely super awesome. I really, really love the Menagerie style format for 6-player activities, and I'm glad they don't abuse it, and do like every season. But I do really like that format. I think it's a lot of fucking fun. And Menagerie, in my opinion, was probably the best seasonal activity they put out in any season or event or anything ever for a 6-player activity, or even just as a match-made activity as a whole. Like, it was really phenomenal. So getting that kind of style back is actually super nice, and the characters in here are fucking hilarious. I love Zurin, his dialogue. I love the Star Horse if he's with his different themed neighs and shit. It's absolutely fucking hilarious. I think they just did a phenomenal job with the characters in Dares of Eternity, and making it kind of like a game show, because I think my friend was talking about how they like apparently in the lore they like stream Prison of Elders and shit. Maybe he was just fucking with me, but I think they do that in the lore, like to like the city and shit, and they watch it and they're like, oh my god, it's like a sport, man. Oh, they're facing Skolas again for the 50th time. Holy shit. But it's pretty cool. Dares of Eternity, I really, really like it, and I've been having a blast with it. I've done about like 40 something runs of it so far. It's a lot of fun, man. It is really just a complete blast, mainly because of Star Horse's favor. So basically, in the second part of the Dares of Eternity, if you make the jumping puzzle, you get a buff called Star Horse's favor, as well as the third, boss fight encounter. If you guess on the right platform, if you guess it right, you'll get it. Now, what makes Star Horse's favor so fucking fun is that it continuously recharges your heavy. Now, you combine this with the sheer insanity that is the Gowerhorn this time around. Holy shit! It is like way better than the Rise of Iron version. I never played in year one. I started off in the beginning of Taken King. So I don't really know how the Gowerhorn was back in the day. I've seen videos and stuff of it, so I can't really compare it to how it was back then. But all I know, man, is like when you have the Catalyst, the 2-rocket DPS is over 200,000, which is like fucking insane. Like, my god, what the shit? And I don't even think that's with well, isn't it? Like, that's not even with like Weapons of Light, which is like crazy to think about. But yeah, the Dares of Eternity is a lot of fun. It really is just a complete blast. Moving into the dungeon, once again, a complete blast. Again, really some phenomenal loot in there. Most of the weapons you get are actually, for some stupid fucking reason, like PvP based weapons. They don't have very good PvE rolls that you get from there. Some of them do, but most of them are just kind of like the Ias Luna, 1,000 Yard Stare. shit like that. Like they are not good PvE weapons at all, which definitely was really disappointing to see for me personally. Like 1,000 Yard Stare had some pretty good rolls for PvE back in the day, and the fact that we didn't get that again is kind of disappointing. Obviously, there has been some sort of differences in perks. I was hoping to get like Triple Tap and Vorpal or something like that. But unfortunately, that is just not a thing this time around, which definitely is very, very disappointing. But the dungeon is very much a loot cave kind of dungeon, set around the loot cave, and it's really, really fun. I'm not going to spoil it too much because I think you should actually go out and play it. I'm pretty sure almost everybody will because the Gowerhorn is locked behind it, and the Gowerhorn is like ridiculous. It's absolutely amazing, especially if you get the Catalyst, which I'd recommend actually going for the Catalyst on the first run. Actually, don't you have to? I'm not sure if you can do the Catalyst on the first run. You might have to go and do it on the second, but I got it on the second. The Catalyst is fantastic. It basically adds another round to the tube, I guess. So it's a 2-tube or 2-round magazine. And that guy ended up killing me. I think that was the same guy who I attempted to kill earlier with the thing. Basically, yeah. Grasp is like really solid. I forget the exact Grasp of Avarice or whatever. I forget the exact name of it, but it's solid. Go and play it. It's fantastic. So the loot as well. And I just got messaged by my friend. It's good. It's not amazing. Besides the Gowerhorn, I would say it's not like holy shit. This is like meta-changing legendary loot. It's definitely not for PvE. But Jesus fucking Christ. Okay. But it's good. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, it's good. It's solid, and it's very nostalgic. We have the battle rifle back. We have the Magnum. We have the energy swords. It's fun to use for sure. But it's not like meta changing, which sucks. For me, I'm always really wanting in like a PvE environment meta changing weapons. Because I like using, what's like some of the best weapons for each category. That's just what I like doing because it's a looter shooter and I like going for the best weapons and shit. So, that's just how I feel about it. But I know some people like absolutely love the loot and shit right now, which is great. Great for them. For me personally, I was a little disappointed with the lack of loot for $25. I mean, we're paying more than a season. We're getting less loot than a season we would typically get with the season. I was also disappointed with the rolls on the weapons that they can get. Some of them are really good. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, the trace rifle is really solid. The legendary trace rifle, first time we've ever seen such a thing, is really good. Like, it's solid. We have the battle rifle can get some good ones on PvE. Specifically, if you're running a grenade build, you can get Demolitionist and Adrenaline Junkie, which is like a phenomenal combination. So I'm very much looking forward to using that in combination with Nothing Manacles and shit like that. Is that what they are? Fuck, I always forget. I always get it confused with the Titan one. Isn't it Nothing Manacles? For the Warlock, the one that gives you an extra scatter grenade and has tracking and all that shit. So yeah. I do really, really like the loot. It's just not amazing like I was hoping it would be, but it is what it is till you just, I guess. Another cool thing they added in that this is very much a quality of life thing, but I'm very disappointed by it, is full auto retrofit mod. So essentially this allows you can place it on a legendary weapon and, a weapon that's semi-automatic, and you turn it into a fully automatic gun. So it's just the equivalent of having the full auto perk on it. Unfortunately, they didn't decide to allow you to replace like the full auto perks you have on your weapons with something else. I mean, not like a lot of people have that sort of thing, but I wish they would have gave us an option to, replace it on each weapon that has it with like a really good perk or something like that. Depending on its pool that it already has, but I don't know. It's disappointing for me personally because they didn't really go the full mile here. I think they claimed it for like accessibility reasons. They don't want people to, they wanted it for accessibility, which is like a great and admirable thing. I'm very, very happy they decided to add this mod to the game. I'm not saying they shouldn't have added it. Was really hoping they would have gone the extra mile and added it onto exotics as like an intrinsic thing. Or into all the semi-automatic weapons of the game as an intrinsic thing, because this takes away from you being able to use backup mag, minor spec, that sort of thing, which is definitely very disappointing for me personally, because I like using minor spec in PvE because it gives you like a 5% bonus in PvE damage for minors, which is actually really cool. I really like that mod. or even like backup mag on some weapons, or shit like that. So it's just kind of disappointed they didn't decide to go the extra mile this time around. And is my headset not fucking working? What the fuck? Okay, never mind. I'm a complete and utter idiot. But that was kind of disappointing as how they did the full auto mod. I know they previewed it in the TWAB and all that, and I don't think they said anything about it being added to exotic weapons. Um, but it was kind of disappointing for me. I'm not like reading up on the TWAB fully every single week. I kind of just skim over it, so maybe that was my fault in setting my expectations in the wrong way. But I was really hoping, with a sense, small sense of hope that they would do that. Maybe they'll add it in the future for accessibility reasons, as that's where gaming is like going. Is like lots of accessibility features. So maybe they will do it for like exotics and stuff like that. But for now, it is kind of cool to have full auto retrofit on like the hung jury and stuff, and or like the night watch where it's a 200 rounds per minute scout rifle. And I really love scouts, so having this option is actually really, really cool. And I'm not taking away from the fact that it's really cool. I appreciate them adding it in the first place. And if they're gonna leave it at this, I appreciate the ability to even have it on legendary weapons. So yeah. Sandbox changes. There's lots of sandbox changes. I'm not going to go over them. There's just a shitload of sandbox changes. It was like a 16% buff for Sleeper Simulant. Like, it's really crazy. Well, it was a 6% for Sleeper and then 10% for Linear Fusions. But, yeah, like, Linear Fusions right now are, like, just extremely good. Sleeper is fucking phenomenal. Gowerhorn is, like, holy shit balls. Like, it's just really, really good. I haven't played PvP, like, at all. So I don't know how PvP is right now, but I do know it's really solid. But is this really worth $25? If you play the game, yeah. If you don't, I would say no. As pretty much every season is. I wouldn't recommend this if you don't play the game very much anymore. And if it doesn't look appealing to you, I wouldn't really recommend it. But for people who like the game, go for it. And yeah, it's going to be it. Peace.